Ashish. A very good morning to everyone. I welcome you all to this amazing for 1 hour. And I must say, I'm really excited too because today we have got amazing guest speakers. So first of all, let me introduce about myself and my organization. My name is Preeti. I'm one of the sales specialists at ProTouch. Before we start, let me give you a quick overview about us. ProTouch is the certification institute which provide upskilling courses to the professionals like HR generalists, HR analytics, advanced certification program, post trainer to deliver post trainings, business analytics for manager certification, corporate trainer and facilitator trainer certification, certified practitioner coach certification, and emotional intelligence trainer and coach certification. We also provide customized programs. That's why all the programs are accredited by the topmost bodies like ICF, SHRM, HRCI, CPD, and IBEC. I'm so glad to see many existing students, team members, and aspiring students of ProTouch who have joined this learning session. I would like to know from each and every audience, have you ever indulged in office conflicts? I would like to repeat my question once again. Have you ever indulged in any kind of office conflicts? You can share your concern in the chat box. You can raise your hand. You can unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yes, Vaishali, over to you.
Thank you. So should I start, Preeti?
Hello. Have you ever come my question is, have you ever come across any kind of topics? So Rita has mentioned accidentally and unintentionally, yes. So City has mentioned these are partials. So nice to know from you, Sujit. I'd like to take a moment to introduce each and every one our guest speakers, Lakshit. So who is holding a very good experience as amateur orator.
Is the audio issue only for me or for everyone?
I think it's for me. I'm so
Sorry.
Okay, fine.
Repeat once.
Okay, very good morning, everyone. Very warm welcome to another webinar. Interesting webinar for all of you. As you know, on Friday, we have a learning session where aspiring trainers of ProTouch, deliver various training programs. First of all, thank you so much for joining us. And today we have another training program and which will be delivered by Lakshit, Vaishali, and Sath. So I think give them a thumbs up, a big thumbs up, everyone. Wonderful. And we look forward to have an insightful, interactive session with all of you. And over to you, team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. A very happy morning to all the aspiring professionals. Do I see that lovely smile on your face? Yes.
Yes.
Come on, some of you are just grimming. Yes. I see that $32 million smile. Yes. Thank you so much. It takes a great pleasure for a Friday morning to start with little bit of emotions, a good feeling. Why? Because today is, thank God it's Friday. It's a TGIF. So to build a couple of more emotions and give some more inputs to our session today, let me just quickly run through some of the tricks, right? I'm sure everybody has heard about emotional intelligence across Google online platforms, and definitely our seniors, right? But how do we gauge that? So we're going to do a little bit of exercise. Are you all ready for it? Thumbs up quickly on your trains. Yes? All right. So we have all beautiful people here with uplifted emotions. So what you're going to do is with your name, the first name, for example, I'm Vaishali. So what's the first emotion comes to you with your name? Can you just write two emotions if you have your paper and pen handy? I give you 30 seconds and I'm going to ask each one of you, how amazing are you feeling? Tick, tick one, tick, tick two, tick, tick three, tick, tick four, tick, tick five. Up, time's up. So let me randomly ask, how are you feeling, Lakshit? What's your emotion right now?
I am feeling very loved, Vaishali, because I have a wonderful family. I have some amazing friends and a beautiful community of trainers who's always there to support me. So yeah, I'm feeling very loved.
Fantastic. Urvashi, how are you feeling?
Um, really waiting for something new to be learned, so I am ready for that. All ears.
You. What's your emotion with you?
Okay,
That
with
was
you,
my
I was
ask.
actually trying to see what is the emotion with you. You is quite
Ultimate.
different. I don't know.
Are you feeling ultimate?
Yeah, yes.
Fantastic.
So thank you.
Rakshit, how are you feeling right now? Rakshit, you're on mute. If you guys can just unmute for a minute, it's a quick exercise. I'll just take 2 or 3 people here.
Am I audible?
Yes. How are you
So
feeling?
current, I'm feeling very excited for this much insightful upcoming webinar. Like, I'm excited to learn new things.
And what's the emotion with R? Your name is R.
uh, I must say energetic and enthusiastic.
Okay. Well, R for feeling robust right now. I could suggest that. Okay, a quick last one. Sujit.
I'm feeling very happy to be with all of you and very excited also.
Fantastic. But what about S? Your name starts with S.
Yeah, it's simple, Sujit.
Simple. Okay, fantastic. Okay, this is a quick exercise just to bring you all to the moment. So when you talk about emotion, you are in the moment and how you feel. Do you all agree? If it's a yes, kindly put yes, yes, yes on your chat. Fantastic. Okay, before we get on to little more in depth about the emotions, 3 things you're grateful for today. Can you quickly write? I'm just going to take 2 things. That's a great exercise for a Friday morning where the elections are starting, and today is also known as Emotional Intelligence Day worldwide. Did you all know that? Yeah. So I must thank Aparna ma'am, Kashish ji to give us an opportunity to have Emotional Intelligence Day and give us an opportunity to host it. Okay, fantastic. The last thing, what can annoy you? 3 things that can annoy you. Okay. So if you're done with this task, then I would like to start our quick introduction about today's session. Are you all aware about the bridging between the emotional and the conflict management? I hope you know the headline of our topic. So I would request my fellow mates, Sarath, to help me present this slide today. Okay, so we are learning today a few tricks and trades about conflict management through emotional intelligence. Next slide, please. Next, please. Okay, so we're going to also take away a couple of useful outcomes from today's learning. I hope it's going to be very effective in your day-to-day routine. Next slide, please. All right. So first of all, we are going to learn how to be emotionally intelligent and how to use these toolkits in your workplace. And that's the term which I have chosen for today. So first thing is, how do we perceive emotional intelligence? Have we analyzed that? Recognizing our own emotions. I'm going to have this entire session on a scenario basis so that we all are into corporate or into entrepreneurship, and we meet people day in and out, right? So I want you all to put yourself in the scenarios which I'm going to help you understand. Next one, please. First of all, when you are getting into an office, before that, how do you feel? You have had a very bad day, you got up late and you just had a breakdown of your car or your vehicle. You have a very bad upset feeling right now and you just want to rush for a meeting. So what do? You're somehow taking another, transport and reaching office. But what's the best thing which we all do? We identify which is the good feeling factor where you want to get into, either a home or office, which we have chosen. So emotions are the choice which we choose. So when you come to the office, that's a great place for you. Do you all agree? Yes. Whether it's your another room where you've made a office as a setup, that itself is your good feeling, good factor feeling. So you are leaving behind whatever was a bad past and getting into the moment to feel better, right? So you are guided and you are right now in a thinking mode that, yes, I don't want to pass on my ugly behavior with somebody, right? Are we not conflicting our emotions during this period? Yes, we do that. So understanding the emotion and coming to a very significant emotion of feeling good factor is the key. Do you all agree? Yes? Right now, I'm gasping with so many anxious things, how my presentation is going to be, right? But how am I going to manage? Because I have wonderful audience here who are all smiling and helping me cope up. So I just dealt with my funny emotion, which is blocking me. So I entered this room today and I regulated my emotions. Do you all agree? This is the current emotional moment for me, and of course, for all of us. Of course, with managing emotions, we also know what are the factors which brings us. Okay, one quick questions out of this toolkit. How many of you are wearing a perfume today and sitting? In the chat box. Majority, we want to feel good. So what do? You work on yourself. Am I right? Yes? So you're feeling good, wearing a lipstick, wearing a good perfume, wearing a good blazer, and yes, I'm ready for the show. However bad morning or a bad session I've had before this, I'm here in front of you just regulating myself, right? So coming to conflict management of the workplace. Sarath, next one, please. Okay, so for all the things which we spoke about, the emotion, what is the root cause? Why do we get so boggled every now and then? And why is it affecting us? Have we ever made a note of that? How many of us just get angry because the work is not getting done? Who is that great person who doesn't get angry? I think most of us, am I right? Yes, most of us are all the time doing multitasking here and just trying to execute all the other things which are not here. Am I right? You want to write, you want to see the thing, and then you want to speak, you're getting a call. So what do? How do assess? Oh, fantastic, Dinesh. I like that. You don't get angry.
I don't
Thank
get
you so
angry.
much. I will take the tips from you end of the session. Right.
Dinesh is actually very sweet also when he says something, when he presents. So I think that we can probably understand why he doesn't get angry.
No,
Yes.
there are certain tricks actually which I follow. So maybe
We
Fantastic.
would love that for you to share with after the session,
definitely.
maybe.
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay. Coming back to the assessing the risk. Now, how often do we sit with somebody whom we know and take the feedback? How many of us do that? Most of us do that, right? Okay, for all the entrepreneurs, we take the suggestions from our client, how the session went. Can I take a feedback, right? And after the session, or maybe with a boss, I every 3 months have a one-on-one meeting to know how I performed. Do we all take that feedback sessions? Yes, yes, most of us do that. But have you forgotten to ask your own self every day in the morning, how am I looking and what is disturbing me? We don't do that. Self assessment is very, very important. And how I react, right? And what I get from them after I have blasted is very important. Am I hurting that person? Or what they are giving back to me, is that affecting me, right? Is what matters. Do we all agree? If I get blastings from my junior, there's a local sala ye bol ke gaya mere ko. This is a term which we use very often. How dare he tells me, who is he? Is my junior. We are giving back that. But why are we not, able to justify our tough stomach to get this kind of feedback? Have we ever worked on that? No. We have to work on that, right? Now, moving to the next slide, at our workplace, we most of the time work with people whom we don't like. Yes, no? Can you please put it in the chat box? How many of you like working with the people whom you don't like? Yes, we do have stubborn people around us who loves to just bombard us with lot of work, lot of insult, backstabs, but they're still sweet with us. But how do you deal with that? Putting a fake smile? How many of us put a fake smile every now and then? We do, right? Yes. I think most of us, I think from the time we have realized how to be an artificially intelligent person in our society, we have always worn a mask. Yes? Yes. So just quick thing, what I would like to tell you is, please understand your emotions before you react, because we have to deal, because whether it's a partner or a boss or a sister or anybody whom you think that you have just not prioritize them, are the most laid back people, and that's the time when you just give back, right? Whether it's a professional, with the grace. See, with artificial people, you do everything with grace. Agree? You want to put up, you want to just put down all your emotions because your ego, your attitude, comes out. But why? Just be you. If you don't like it, please tell no. If you're upset, please vent out. Those suppressed emotions don't work. It comes out in a very odd place. You want to break down, you want to cry, which is not a good thing. So if you don't like, please be with your emotion, respect yourself, work on yourself, be vigilant, and be in the moment. That's few things which I wanted to introduce and bring today, these concepts, while my fellow mate Lakshit and Sarath are going to help you guys understand this concept very, very insightful. I would like to now ask my fellow mate Lakshit to take it over. Over to you, Lakshit. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaishali. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? It's so wonderful to see you all, my fellow batchmates, some new participants, and the wonderful, wonderful team of ProTouch. It's so nice to see you guys all once again. I can see some familiar faces. I can see Utkarsh, I can see Preeti, Sagar, and Mohit is also there, I think. Hi, everyone. Hi, Kishan. It's so wonderful to see you all once again here. So, are you all following the session so far, everyone? If that's a yes, please put Y in the chat box. All right, very good. I can see the chat box flooding with Ys. So good to know. Thank you so much, everyone. All right, now let's go ahead. So, all right, as you all know, Vaishali has already covered emotional intelligence and how it can be beneficial in resolving conflicts. Okay, now let's go a little bit deeper into that. But before that, can anybody name the 4 key components of EI, emotional intelligence? Anybody can unmute themselves and name the 4 key components of emotional intelligence by Mr. Daniel Goleman. Anyone? The 4 key components.
Can I, Lakshit?
Yes, yes, please, Sujit, please go ahead.
The first is to know myself,
Yes, what is
and
it called
second,
though? What is it called?
self introspection or self awareness.
Self-awareness. Very good. What's next one?
And the second one is manage myself.
Yes, what is that called?
Managing exact that word I'm not getting it, but
Self-management.
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 Yes.
Okay,
Thanks,
Richa
Lakshit.
has already mentioned in the group. You can carry on, Sujit, please. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Everybody
the
else, you
third,
can please put your answers in the chat box.
in my point of view, is drive ourselves. I mean, drive myself.
Okay, all right.
And the fourth one is the same thing. This is me all about next others.
Okay.
Manage
So,
and know others.
but very good. Although we got a perfect answer from Richa in the chat box, self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. Very good. Everyone, please give a round of applause for Richa for that. Thank you. Thank you, Richa. Thank you so much.
Thank
Now,
you, Lakshit.
understand. Yeah,
And I
understand
think
everyone. Yes, yes, Dinesh.
Lakshit, there is like self-appreciation is also one of the very important thing there.
Yes, of course, definitely, definitely. Yeah. All right. So now understand everyone. All these 4 key components of EI, they play a major role in resolving the conflicts. However, due to limited time, we will not be able to cover all the components so deeply. Okay. So let's dive a little bit deeper into one of the most important component of EI, that is self-awareness. Sarath, can you please share the screen? It's in the presenter's mode, Sarath. Please open the slideshow mode. Yeah. All right. Perfect. So, can anybody define self-awareness though? Anybody can unmute themselves and define self-awareness for me, for us? Anyone?
It's more of a realization of oneself, accepting their shortcomings and their strengths and weakness. So knowing about yourself, how aware about you. So people taking the feedback. So If someone is
Alright.
saying something, it should be good for you. So it should be not considered as a negative or a positive feedback. It should be a constructive feedback. So this is when you know about yourself, it's self-awareness, I think.
Okay, all right. Anybody else would like to share what is self-awareness? Probably a textbook definition, if anybody can give me.
Self-understanding.
Okay.
Yes, yes, Preeti. Yes, Preeti, you were saying something.
As per whatever I have, gained knowledge from Aparna ma'am, I know that self-awareness is to aware yourself, first of all.
Yes, exactly. I was just going to say we are all Aparna ma'am students, and as we all know, she's the master of EI trainings among many of them. So we all should definitely know this. All right. Now let's try to understand self-awareness in conflict situations, though. All right. So self-awareness in conflict situations is basically the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions, your thoughts, or behaviors, and how they are impacting the conflict. All right. Now, why is it so important? Because when you are self-aware, you can better manage your emotions, you can communicate effectively, and you can find constructive solutions to the conflict. Am I making sense to everyone here? All right. All right. Perfect. Now, let us try to understand how we can apply self-awareness in conflict resolution situations. It's a step-by-step process. Sarath, can we move to the next slide, please? All right. Now, step number one is recognizing your emotions. Okay. Let's take an example. Let's say you are working on a project with a colleague of yours, but you have been putting extra hours in that particular project to ensure its success. On the other hand, your colleague is not contributing as much as you'd hoped. Now what happens? The deadline is approaching, and due to which there is a tension arising between the two of you. Now, so in this particular case, everyone, how will you identify the emotions? What kind of emotions will come to you? Okay, so understand the case is what? You have a project coming up, deadline coming up. Okay, you are the only one doing all the work, putting in extra hours. Your colleague is not helping. How would that make you feel? Anyone would like to share? I'm sure we all have come across this kind of situations in offices, even in back in colleges when we used to give presentations, in group. One of the group members always, somebody who never respond to messages, never do any kind of research. So I'm sure we all know this kind of emotion. So can anybody share what would be the emotion? How would that make you feel?
It just, Lakshit, if I can share.
Yes, 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 please, Rohit, please.
So there have been multiple situations where this happens, and I think a lot of us face this. It just feels very frustrating,
Exactly.
and very demoralizing also.
So
And
true, Rohit. Very good. Bang on. You would feel frustrated, right?
correct.
And you have so much workload also. You are the only one doing everything. So of course that would make you feel frustrated. While your colleague is totally indifferent to the project. All right. So this is the first step, recognizing the emotions. Now, step number two. Sarath, can you please press enter? Step number two. Pause and reflect. Now, pay attention, everyone. You have to take a moment, step back, assess your emotions and your reactions objectively. All right. Before reacting, take a moment to think about why are you feeling this way? Is it only because why your colleague is not contributing, or are there any other factors at play? There might be a reason for your colleague's behavior, that you are not really aware of. Okay. So in this step, you have to pause, take a moment and reflect. Why are you feeling this way? Okay. All right. Now, third step, understand perspective, that is empathy. Now, what you do is you have to try to put yourself in your colleague's shoes and try to understand their point of view or their feeling. Okay, so what you do is you try to put yourself in their shoes, try to understand maybe there is a personal issue they are dealing with. Maybe they are not aware about how much contribution they have to give in this particular project. Okay, they maybe are not aware of their role exactly. All right. So it could be anything. So try to empathize with their situation and understand their point of view. Okay. Now, we have recognized the emotions. We have paused and reflected on those emotions. We have understood the other person's perspective. Now comes the most important part, communicating effectively. Now, what you have to do, you have to express your emotions and your needs clearly and assertively while being open to the feedback, everyone. So what you can do is you can approach your colleague calmly, okay? And you can express your concerns to them despite blasting on them and telling them, oh, you are not doing this, you are not doing that. Approach them calmly. Use I kind of statements and express your concern. So you can say something like this. Hey, listen, I've been feeling very overwhelmed nowadays because I've been putting extra hours in this project. So can we sit together and can we discuss how we can contribute, evenly to this project? Is that right, everyone? Yes. Okay. Now, after communicating effectively, now comes the last step, that is seek resolution. Okay. Now what you should do, you both of you should sit together and come to a common solution that mutually benefit both the parties. Okay. So what you can do now is you can sit together, listen to your colleague's perspective, but remember, without interrupting and without being defensive. Okay. So can anybody tell me what could be the resolution in this particular case after recognizing emotions, pausing, reflecting, understanding perspective, communicating effectively, what resolution they can come to in this particular case?
They could discuss on the future course of the distribution of the work that's left.
Very good, Rohit. Very good. Very good. Can we have a round of applause for Rohit for giving such wonderful answers? Very well said, Rohit. Very well said.
Thank you.
Yes. So they can sit together and they can evenly distribute the workload. Okay. How they can do, and they can also do one thing. They can set clear expectations that whatever it is they're expecting from one another. Okay, so these are the 5 steps, everyone. We apply self-awareness to resolve conflict. Recognize the emotions during the conflicting situations. Pause and reflect on those emotions. Why are you feeling them? Understand the perspective of the other person. Then communicate effectively, but be clear and assertive in that communication. Finally, come to a common solution that benefit both the parties. All right. Now, everyone, let's go ahead. Now, let's try to do a small activity where we will apply this particular, steps of self-awareness to, just wait, Sarath, to, resolve a real life conflict. So are you all excited to solve a real life case by applying self-awareness? If yes, please put E in the chat box. Well, come on, many E's I want here. Yes, yes, very good, everyone. I like the energy of this group. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, but before we begin this activity, I just want to make one thing clear to everyone. So this case or this activity is a very, very open-ended activity, very open-ended question, okay? There are no right or wrong answers here. There could be endless possibilities to this kind of cases. However, we have to stick ourselves to only those, cases or only those possibilities which are helping us resolving the conflict, that too by applying self-awareness that we have learned in the previous slide. Is that okay with everyone? Perfect. Now, can we have the case now, Sarath? Now, meet Sumit and Janvi. Sumit and Janvi, colleagues in the same team, have a disagreement over a project deadline. Sumit believes the deadline is unrealistic, while Janvi thinks it's achievable. The disagreement escalates into a heated argument. Is everyone clear with the case now? Two colleagues, Sumit and Janvi, okay, they're having a disagreement over the project deadline. Sumit believes the deadline is unrealistic. You cannot meet the project requirements within that particular deadline, while Janvi thinks, no, we can totally do it. There's a disagreement which is now escalated to a heated argument. Okay. Now let's try to apply self-awareness techniques in this one. Now everyone, like I said, no right or wrong answers. Be imaginative, use your imagination, be creative, okay? And I will not give any answers. I want answers from the group now. Now, what was the first step, everyone? Recognize the emotions. Now, somebody unmute yourself and tell me, how is Sumit feeling in this particular situation? Who would like to go?
He's feeling bad, like he is feeling like he doesn't have any kind of power or any kind of.
Yes. So how would that make you feel, Preeti? How would that make you feel if you don't have a power or if somebody is not listening to you?
I would feel very demotivated, or I would feel very bad that I don't have any kind of, power or any kind of authority in the, project or in the organization.
Okay. Anybody else?
I
This
feel
is
he could
also
be
a real
feeling,
case scenario. Was
I feel
yes,
he
yes,
could
Rohit.
be, I feel he could be feeling very anxious because
Of course.
he does not believe that it can be, completed in the given timeline.
Yes, totally, totally. Anybody else? Any other feeling that Sumit might be having here?
Frustrated.
Frustrated. Very good, very good. So Sumit is feeling stressed, anxious, and frustrated. Is that right, everyone?
And
All
also
right.
angry. And also
Also
angry.
angry, of course, also angry. Now, how is Janvi feeling? What is Janvi's feeling? Now, attention, pay attention here, everyone. Janvi is the person whose thought is being challenged by some other person. So how would that make Janvi feel? What happens when somebody challenges your emotion, your thought, sorry?
Pause. We take a pause.
No, I'm saying what would be Janvi's emotion? When somebody, so this happens with everyone. When you say to something to someone and somebody say, no, you are wrong, but you keep on saying, no, I'm right. How is that making you feel? When somebody
Jealousy, feeling unheard.
Challenges your authority, challenges your self-respect.
Yes, but what does that make you, Rohit?
Defensive.
Defensive. Exactly, ma'am. Can we have a round of applause for ma'am here? Defensive. So Janvi is feeling defensive. Very good. All right. Now, step number 2. Pause and reflect. Now, somebody unmute themselves and tell me what they should be pausing and reflecting on here. Surbi, would you like to go?
Pausing on the argument and reflecting their thoughts and emotions.
Yeah, but what they should be reflecting on?
The deadlines, if it is achievable, what else can we do? Can we hear
Yes.
from both the parties so that we can agree
Yes.
upon a mutual deadline?
Yes, very good, Urvashi. So, can we say that, if they pause and reflect, they might, Sumit, let's say, especially, he might discover a different approach that he had not considered, that probably Janvi has, right?
It's a different
All right.
POVs altogether.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, open-ended question, use your imagination, anything. All right. Yeah. So, step number 3, understand perspective. Now, I want 2 people here, okay? One person should tell me what is it that is Janvi's perspective that Sumit should understand here. Sumit should understand what perspective of Janvi here.
Excuse me, Lakshit.
Yes, Sujit.
Janvi should understand in Sumit that why Sumit thinks that the deadline is not achievable or unrealistic.
Yes.
Why? And what
Why?
made Sumit think that this is unrealistic? What made Sumit think? So find that factor. What stops Sumit to
So
think
can
that?
you get to the point? Can you imagine what could be the reasons?
Janvi should.
Yes.
Can I tell?
Maybe the why
Yes,
and
Subhash
how.
ji. Yes, Subhash ji. Yes, you were
Janvi
saying.
should explain, and she should make the plan micro level. That it is how it is achievable. That is because Janvi feels that she is not understanding. Sumit is not understanding Janvi. So
Yes, so this is
need to show him that how it is achievable.
yes. So that means Sumit here should understand Janvi's perspective, how the target, how the deadline is approachable, right?
Achievable, how it is achievable.
Yes, perfect. And now, what is this the perspective of Sumit that Janvi should understand now?
Yes, it is not very clear to Sumit. So Janvi need to understand Sumit in the full project, about the full project in details. He is not understanding the project. Only for that reason, he is feeling that it is not achievable.
Yes, yes. Very good,
So
Subhashji. Very nice.
may
Yes,
may I,
Dinesh.
Lakshit? So
Yes, yes, Dinesh. Yes.
as per what Sumit was saying, so Janvi should understand why he is reluctant to saying that it is not achievable. What is the
Yes.
plan and what is running behind
But
its mind?
Dinesh, can you imagine what could be the reasons for Sumit's apprehension? Why does he think it's not achievable?
Apprehension may be there when we maybe multiple cases. Like he must be having
Yes.
so much
Own
things on
strength,
his plate.
Past
believe on
experiences. Can these be
believe
Past
past
on
experience.
own strength,
experiences?
He must be having
believe on
overloaded
own
with
strength.
work already.
Yes,
He's working
yes.
on multiple projects and he's been dragged into that. And
Wow.
there might be something which is he knows about it. He has worked on the
Hmm.
previous projects, which he
Hmm.
knows that this is the details. These are the roadblocks basically. So
All
Janvi
right.
should
Perfect.
understand that.
Perfect. Very good. All right. Now,
There
next
could
step
be,
is
can I just add to this? Sorry, Lakshit,
yes,
can I
yes, Rohit. Yes,
there
yes,
could,
yes. Please, Rohit. Yeah.
there could be two more things from Sumit's standpoint. One could be lack of competence or lack of knowledge of the tools that are
Could
required
be,
to
could
kind of
be, could be.
complete
Yes.
the project.
Resources, we can say. Yeah.
And then there could be there could be a possibility of lack of really pushing yourself and wanting to be in that comfort zone, so you don't want to take a deadline on time and you
Yes,
want an
yes,
extended
yes.
period.
So that means Janvi should understand and she should push Sumit to do that, right? Being a fellow colleague, being a fellow team member.
Right, but just the other point, flip side to this, Lakshit, is because we don't
Yes.
know who's right. The flip side to this is that Janvi is being over ambitious, and while of course Sumit knows the reality because he's been there in the organization, knows how things work, and Janvi
Yes.
probably is just being overexcited. And like Subhashji said, I had similar point in mind that they both need to, rather than fighting over the deadline, I think a good resolution is they work on an action plan, a detailed action plan, and then see what is a realistic deadline, and automatically they both
Very
will
good.
each other's point.
Perfect, perfect. All right. Now, next, come to the next step.
I have to get
Communicate.
into this. I'm have to
Yes,
get
ma'am.
into this. Rohit, there are, we are coaches, and there are a lot of assumptions I get to hear here that, Janvi is over ambitious and all. However, there can be, Janvi has a great plan to work on it, right?
Yes, yes.
And here I think we are using a word very clearly all the time. Why Sumit is feeling anxious, why Janvi is feeling this way. I think that why has to be replaced with what. What is making Sumit anxious? What is making Janvi so optimistic about it? So if she is so confident, then she must be having some clarity. So if we
Yeah.
move from why to what, I think the discussion will go on a very, very
Yes,
positive
like
line.
I said, ma'am, the endless
Thank you, ma'am.
possibilities,
Thank you,
right?
ma'am.
All
Absolutely.
right. All right. Now, next
Just
step,
to add,
everyone.
sorry, just to add, Dr. Parna,
Rohit.
I did never said it is she. I said it's a possibility she could be over.
Possibility.
Like,
Yes.
I'm not.
All right.
I'm not saying for certain. I'm not at all saying in certainty that she's over ambitious. Maybe it's
Loving it. Loving this discussion. Great.
Yes. However, everyone, we still have one more presenter left. So let's just quickly get on with this. Okay. Now, next point is communicate effectively. Now, here, everyone, I want two volunteers. Okay. One will be Sumit and one will be Janvi. Now, you have already recognized emotions. You have paused and reflected. You understood the perspective of each other. Okay. One person should become Sumit and communicate to Janvi. One person should be Janvi and communicate to Sumit. Okay. However, one more thing I want to make clear that this is a very gender neutral environment here. So if any guy has a perspective for Janvi, they can be Janvi. If a girl has a perspective for Sumit, they can be Sumit. So come on, everyone. I want volunteers now. Be Janvi and be Sumit. Be in their shoes and communicate. Who would like to go? Or else I will have to pick. So please volunteer.
I can be Janvi, right? So
Okay, Dinesh will be Janvi. Who wants to be Sumit?
I can be Sumit.
All right. So let's first hear Sumit's perspective, Sumit's communication to Janvi. Go ahead, Dinesh, as Sumit.
so okay, so Sumit, what is stopping you? Like, so we have these committed deadlines. So what are we going to do about it? Because we have limited time, this week's time only.
So, Janvi, as you're already aware, firstly, the timeline hasn't been fixed yet, and you are aware that we have review meetings going on this week, and there is already a lot of pressure on our team. and this requires a certain amount of time. So that's why my apprehension is that, maybe if we could probably keep the deadline 2 or 3 days later, it is more achievable.
See, these deadlines have been decided because this is a senior leadership meeting which has come up randomly, which has to be. I have to communicate it to you, and your other priorities have taken a back seat. And I think you have worked on it in a detailed plan and a detailed manner. So we can sit back together and we can work around what are your deadlines and what are your commitments, so that we at least have a prep work done and we can be ready for the presentation.
Very good, both of you. Please give a big round of applause for both of them. Like Aparna ma'am does, one hand here, and clap like this for both of
But
them.
I have a query here. Lakshit. Here, the conversation went in a manner that Janvi automatically became the superior and a reporting manager, where she is dictating and saying this has already been decided. Whereas this role play was about two colleagues deciding on a
Yes,
so it
yes,
was like
but
give us
Dinesh
mandate.
also said, that we have to sit together. Okay, that is where the empathy came in. That is where the understanding
He gave a
perspective came.
diktat clearly saying that it has to be done. Now let's talk about how other things become less important for you, and this is the most important. So it was more of a diktat. It was not a discussion.
No, it's not.
Let Janvi clarify. Let Janvi clarify.
Janvi was
It is right.
authoritative.
How Janvi can conclude that my other importance is not important at all.
Exactly. Janvi was
Let
authoritative.
Janvi
saying
clarify,
that-
everyone. Let Janvi clarify.
Okay. Let Janvi clarifies. Thank you, Laksha, to giving me a point. So here, as a colleague, it is not. So the colleagues whom we are working with, it's not only at the same level. So the colleagues can be at a manager and a subordinate who is reporting to him, or not, even not reporting. They are reporting to a single boss, but their responsibilities are a little different. So maybe
No, Sumit, no, Dinesh, no. They are both equal team members. Okay.
Equal team members.
If that's what you
It
meant,
is
then I'm
written
sorry.
colleagues in the
They
same
are
team.
colleagues in the
He is
same
in the
team,
same team.
Dinesh.
So
Yeah.
even I'm working with the people who are working in the same team. So if I am the person who is there, and our position is not different. We both are managers there, and one person has to develop, one person has to execute as well. So there are this delegation of duties are there. So that is the way.
Okay.
So I've thought in that perspective that if you are being asked like, okay, this is something which has to be done, and the clear instructions are being given. So Sumit is just like maybe he is procrastinating or what, like this cannot be done. But Janvi is there who is coming up with this point that we have to deliver this. This is for a senior stakeholders, and that is why we have to come
If
together
I
to
can
work
just come
again.
in for a moment, sorry, Dinesh, if I can just come in for a moment, I think
Okay, guys,
endless
please,
discussion,
we still
but just
can we continue the discussion? We still have one more presenter left and a very small points to finish. I'm really sorry to cut you guys like this. My
It's
apologies.
okay.
Because like I said, this is an open-ended question. The discussion can really go on. However, we have to stick to the points which are helping us resolve the conflict. We are getting into the conflict now. We don't want that. Okay. All right. So now finally, what is the resolution? I think Rohit already mentioned it, like negotiation of the deadlines, right? They can sit together because Janvi should empathize also with Sumit in some way.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Sumit should understand there could be some other, resources that they can use to do this. Okay. So everyone, there you have it, the 5 steps to solve self-awareness. Quickly, let's get into the techniques to develop self-awareness. Number 1 is mindfulness practices. Can anybody share what is mindfulness?
being fully present and focused and being aware of your inner senses as well.
Exactly.
And being
So
in the moment.
Being in the moment is called mindfulness. So what can help you achieve mindfulness? One of the important things that I can share with you is mindfulness meditation. Okay, because when you do mindfulness meditation, that can help you become aware more of your thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations. That will definitely going to help you develop more self-awareness. Next point, feedback and resolution. So what you can do is you can seek feedback from your peers, from your superiors, okay, about your communication style and how you handle conflict situations, right? But because when you seek feedback, you can recognize the pattern in your behavior. Okay, that can definitely help you develop some self-awareness and different communication styles that can ultimately lead to personal growth and development. All right, that's about from my side. My apologies, Sarath. I think I've taken a lot of time, but the discussion went on. The stage is all yours, Sarath. Please carry on this flag of emotional intelligence by conflict management. Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah. I would request everyone to give a good applause to Lakshit for that wonderful session and wonderful presentation that took us away from the real world. Actually, we ourselves became Sumit and Janvi. So without going much out of the line, let me start my presentation. 1 second. Yes, I think I'm audible and visible. Can somebody confirm, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So here what we are going to talk is about empathetic communication in conflict resolution. So as Janvi's and Sumit's scene was happening, what was the real requirement? It was to understand others' perspectives. Sumit has some other perspective regarding the deadline. Janvi has some other perspective. Dineshji has some other perspective. Rohit has some other perspective. So to understand other perspective is the most important thing in empathetic communication to resolve conflict. I know. Other than we have people other than Protege, I know Protege doesn't have any conflict from that both side, but I can understand that rest everyone has some issues. But because no one can have Aparna ma'am everywhere, so I know that there are issues. So first part is to understand other perspective, and the second biggest point is that to build trust among our team members, build trust among our seniors, superiors, build trust among subordinates. That is very important. And you have to create a rapport. You have to create a rapport where people should listen to you. As Lakshit had created a rapport that people were ready to listen for Lakshit for another half an hour too. So that is very important to build their trust and rapport. Then managing emotions. If Sumit and Janvi could manage their emotion better, the scene would have changed. That conflict or that anger issue will not come. So they have to manage their emotions effectively so that the issue or the project will go in line. They can have a discussion with the client for extending the deadline if it is they seems like it is unrealistic. They can have a discussion with their boss, and they could have managed it better. Clarifying misunderstandings. The same point. Sumit and Janvi can sit together. They can take others' perspectives. They can discuss things, and they can even I think so. Sumit may have some other perspective that some much accountability has to be done, so much project work, documentation has to be done, and it can happen that Janvi has already made something. Just have to say some small tweakings has to be done. So there has some ideas within her mind, and there might have some ideas in his mind also. So to clarify misunderstanding is also very important. Then promoting collaboration and creativity. We are working in an environment where everyone is egoistic. Everyone has their own egos. So everyone works for satisfying their own egos. So we have to collaborate. We have to create an environment where people can talk each other. People can go together with each other. People can have a common platform where they can talk, and that's why we conduct tour. We conduct our team building activity also. So that is very important. Then the main part is that active listening. So how can we listen actively? Can somebody tell me how can I understand that you are listening to me actively?
Without speaking back, just
By seeing the
stay calm
gestures.
and focused.
Yeah, Kashish, I can't hear you. Yeah, tell me.
By seeing the gestures, like if they're nodding their head.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else? Urushi, you are right. You are right. Any other points?
Body language.
Yeah, body language. Very good. Very good, Vaishali.
Sarath,
Any other
acknowledging
points?
the person. acknowledging the other's emotions and reflecting back to with the actions.
Exactly. So that is where I'm coming to. Paying full attention. I am taking the class, everybody's looking to the camera, everybody looking at the presentation, and you are nodding your head, you are giving me thumbs up. That itself means that you are having full interest on the point, and you are agreeing to my point, and you are giving me feedback. So that is active listening. And how you can maintain active listening? You can maintain eye contact. We are joined here online. You can switch on your camera. You are talking to me. You are putting up thumbs up. You are paraphrasing me. You are clarifying your doubts. We are discussing. This is why we can prove we are actively listening to the point. And why you should listen actively? That is a big point. It fosters empathy. It shows that if there is someone who can listen to you, who can hear you. Nowadays we don't get people who listen to you. Nowadays people are very busy in their own course that people don't want to listen to somebody. So be a good listener. That fosters empathy, that shows your lightheartedness. It enhances communications. It shows that okay, you are ready for listening, you are ready to receive that as you are receiving it right now. It enhances communication, it uncovers emotions. And as Lakshit was saying, the resolution seeking is very important. You have to resolve that. We are talking about counter resolution. So we have to resolve. When you are actively listening to somebody, it automatically facilitates resolution. So now we are coming to another point where it is non-verbal cues. I'll be stopping sharing my screen. Can you show me some examples of non-verbal cues without unmuting yourself? Aparna ma'am, thinking. Yeah, somebody else. Yes, thank you so much, Sujit ji. Yeah, firing from Vaishali ma'am. Anything else? Yeah, good one from Dinesh ji. Yeah, I will show something. What is this? What does this mean? Can somebody unmute and talk?
Come close.
Come closer.
What does this mean?
Go, go, go.
Go away. What does this mean?
Hi.
What
No,
does
no,
this mean?
no.
You are seeing your friend along. He's sitting very back of the stage. You can see them. He's raising. He's waving to you, and he's smiling. What does you do? You go to him. No, you are the main chief guest of the stage. You will smile him back and you will wave him back. That is where this non-verbal gestures, non-verbal cues goes. It is very important. Yeah. What is non-verbal cue? It is transmission of message through the cues rather than words that we had already talked about. How it could be shown? Through body language, facial expressions, tone of voice. Okay, I am angry with Urvashi. So how I will talk? I will not telling that I am angry with you, Urvashi. No, I will change my voice. I will change my tone. I will raise my voice. I will modulate in it that way that I can negotiate. I can manipulate Urvashi. Right, Urvashi? I'm right. Am I right?
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
So you have to pay attention to the cues. You should understand emotion of the person. If your person is sharing his emotions or his perspective to you, you can nod. You should not be sitting like this. Okay, तुम start करो मैं सुनता हूँ चलो. It should not be like that. You should open your heart to listen. You should not be. We normally say to our students also, you should not be sitting like this in a class because you are not ready to receive. You should open your hands to receive. So that shows that he is interested. And somebody saying like I'm sitting like this. What will be your feeling? Oh, he's getting. Why are you doing this? So you will feel that oh, he's getting bored. I'm not a good faculty or good trainer. So these all are novel cues. I have a good video on that. I think it will be. Are you there? Or taken away? Okay, what all were your takeaways from that video?
I like the biscuit packet.
Me too.
But
Okay,
you know,
anyone else?
right? What you're thinking, the reality could be different.
Exactly. Perspective matters. She thought that when she saw that person, she started thinking, oh, that is a person, some tapori type hai, वो तो कुछ भी कर सकता है. But she didn't even bother to check herself.
She was angry, so she was just having her own perspective, and she was not aware about herself.
Exactly. Exactly. Anything else? I can take one more feedback.
There was
No,
no
just
pause.
reflection
There
before
was
reaction.
just there was
Pardon,
just a
pardon.
reaction. There was just a reaction, not a pause, or maybe the thinking aspect was missing.
Yeah, yeah. He was actually not listening to whatever she was telling, but he was just sitting. Okay. So here it is, anger management is there, non-verbal cues were there, conflict resolution was there, everything was there. So you have to, even if she would have asked him the first time, why you are taking my biscuit, he would answer that it is my packet. The issue will not happen. Okay. So I'm not taking much time. So we are summing up. So what we have gone through is self-awareness, to understand self-awareness in conflict resolution, which involve recognizing emotions. And we have talked about empathetic communication and active listening and non-verbal cues. So I hope the session was useful. I would like to invite Lekshit so that he could he could present you some surprise for the participants.
All right. Thank you so much, Sarath, for the wonderful presentation about non-verbal cues and communication. Can we have a round of applause for Sarath, please? It was
Thank you.
wonderful the way he presented. Thank you so much, Sarath. Now we have a small giveaway for everyone. Please scan this QR code, which will lead you to a website, a link where you can do emotional intelligence assessment on yourself. When you finish the assessment, you will get a detailed, comprehensive report about yourself, which will definitely help you to understand your strength, your weakness, your areas of improvement, and how you can improve them, which will surely help you in being more self-aware, okay? Communicating more effectively, understanding emotional intelligence about your own self a little bit better. But make sure, be very, very honest when you answer this question. All right. So that's it from our side. Thank you so much, everyone, for being such a wonderful audience, for interacting, participating, and it was a wonderful session. And it was a small attempt from our side. I hope everyone enjoyed. Thank you so much. If
If you have
anybody
any
have any
questions, you can
questions,
shoot.
please.
Yes, if you all have any questions or any queries.
Stop sharing the screen.
Yeah, sorry.
Has any, ma'am, just one moment. I wanted to check if everybody has scanned the QR code. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Over to you all, audience. If you have any questions, you speak
Or
in.
anybody would like to share anything about, having some similar cases like Sumit or Janvi, or something with your colleague. Anybody would like to share something like that and how you have resolved such kind of conflicts.
I think looking at the time, I would just take a few minutes of yours, everyone. I would like to give a feedback. Generally, I give a feedback in a different way, but today I would like to sum up in a very different way. My son was sitting next to me and was attending your session here. And he said, who are these trainers? Are these trainers from ProTouch? I said, yes, these are our own CTF participants. He said, no wonder they are like a ProTouch quality.
I think that's a great compliment.
Please say
Thank
thank
you,
you to
ma'am.
your
Thank
son.
So that's what we will sum up the feedback about. I must say, commendable information. And I think you have used Triple E model very well, where Vaishali came into the picture, did a lot of education. Lakshit came into picture, did a lot of engagement. And yes, there was an entertainment too. throughout. I mean, you could stimulate many agreements, disagreements, fights, communication in such a small scenario. Sumit and
Janvi.
Janvi. So it was wonderful. Yes, I think a protest team should bring a hand like this. Everyone from protest team bring a hand like this and give a pat on your back. You did a fabulous job.
Thank you,
Definitely, ma'am.
Aparna ma'am.
Definitely.
Incredibly inspiring. Reading every day
That is why
about
I mentioned that
a big habit.
not everybody can have a boss like you, ma'am.
Like Aparna
Nay, I'm
ma'am.
not that kind of a boss. Don't. Sometimes I become. See, why na mother can be soft and mother needs to be hard.
Exactly.
You know, you cannot be soft all the time. So I think when you're a leader or a boss or anyone, a manager or a team member, you have a huge responsibility. And, you know, we can easily get into the trap of disease to please. That is, you know, my team members should love me. I'm okay if they hate me as long as they are becoming winners.
Okay.
We hate our doctors, we hate our dietitians, we sometimes hate our gym instructor, but they are building a different muscle inside us that we get to know maybe sometimes even after leaving that organization. And I think that is very important for all of us to know, right? So not necessarily that we are getting good to someone. It's okay that if you hate me, but if my intention is right, then it's fine, right? Like Krishna ने भी बोला था कि युद्ध करो, युद्ध करने की जरूरत है. क्यों? क्योंकि युद्ध के पीछे का इंटेंशन अलग था. जब तक उद्देश्य ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. You know, there is a time when we all have hated our parents. Yes or no? We all have hated our parents. We wanted to leave our house because of them sometimes, right? But today we realize what is the intent was. So that's okay if someone hates me as long as my intent is right. Thank you. I think that is what I will say. Only last thing that, you know, when you were talking about conflict management, and recently I'm reading a wonderful book, and I suggest all the trainers must read this book, that is the Diary of a CEO. And, you know, there are 33 laws are given in this book. And in these 33 laws, there is a third law, which is on conflict management and which talks about you must never disagree. You must never disagree. I think they have given a mantra to handle the conflict. And these laws are life-changing. Okay. So I'm just on the 5th law right now, and that was a third law. I will just tell you, Urvashi. And they say you should never disagree. They, there is a psychologist and who conducted a wonderful experiment where there were 42 participants were there, and they were asked to do the financial evaluation of the properties. And when the evaluation used to match, you know, the brain used to light up. And when the evaluation never used to match or not even a close, then brain used to stop and give different kind of chemicals, right? That was not so good for your health, right? So what this experiment talks about is never ever disagree with the person, only ask questions in the agreement. Like, for example, wonderful point, Lakshit, I would love to know more about it. How do you, why are you, what make you think like this or whatever it is? So what is it? I'm showing the agreement and I'm taking the person, I'm understanding the person with the curiosity. I think it's a wonderful thing and scientifically it is proven. But many times we say, kya baat kar raha hai? Dimag hai. Arre, it will never happen like this. What are you saying? On what basis are you saying this? Go and check your facts first. If we are speaking like this, then what is happening? Then our brain is getting into defensive mode and frozen mode, right? So I think this law is wonderful. That is, you must never disagree. So आगे से कभी भी कोई आए जहां पे भी आपको लगता है कि disagreement होने वाला है, पहले बोलो हाँ, you are right. Great point. In addition to that, and you will see the difference happening in your communication. Okay, I think that is what I wanted to share. So the book name is, everyone, The Diary of a CEO, which has given 33 laws of business and life. I'm telling you, it's like a Gita, it's like a Bible, it's like a Quran. I'm reading every day one chapter. So I think in 33 days, I should complete this book.
And
so
this is written by?
It is written by Stephen sorry, Stephen Bartlett. Stephen Bartlett. So the copy
Bartlett.
looks like a black and white like this. Okay.
Bartlett.
Yeah. Order it. It is worth, and especially for trainers and coaches, it is wonderful. The fourth chapter is on how to change beliefs, which talks about coaching. It is a
Coaching.
wonderful point. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Though we have taken the long time, but I think it was all worth it. Yes. Big round of applause to all the participants here. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Great. All the best.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you
Thank
all.
you so much.
Good day, ma'am. Good day, team.
Have a great day.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone, for
Thank
being a
you.
wonderful
Thank you so
audience.
much.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Sagar, you can stop recording.